You're bursting. As I'm sitting here, it feels like it's this bursting, kind of opening to the spirit. I want to just share, Kirsten, me and you were talking maybe about an hour ago, just kind of praying together about what was about to happen. And all of a sudden the line went dead. And so I thought, okay, we're finished. And me and Eric, we were getting in the car, and all of a sudden we heard these chainsaws going. And then everybody started to say, hey, the internet's out. And because we're right in the middle, we just started a mystery school. And we go around the corner, and all the lines to our internet are all sliced and hanging to the ground as we're pulling out of the car. And it's like the spirit, it's like, we don't have a plan, that's for sure. And we were telling the guys that when we were pulling out, the cables, they were like just smiling and laughing, and so it just feels like this, just really just opening up to what's being given.
Yeah, we never know. I can.
Okay.
And I think that's really what we want to open up to tonight for this session together is an experience for us all to go into an experience of the holy instant. And that's really our journey is to open up to the holy instant. And I did a word search on the word now and instant in the course earlier. And guess how many times Jesus mentions the word now and instant combined? Almost 3,000.
Oh, wow.
So this is something that Jesus is calling us into and pointing us towards as the answer, as the direction for our mind, over and over and over and over again, like throughout every chapter in the course, throughout the lessons, throughout the manual for teachers. He's calling us into the solution, which is now. So as Lisa and I were joining in prayer around what do we want really, and what do you want, and what is the call, what does everyone want, what is the calling for this session tonight? And it's to embrace an experience. It's to open up to an experience of the holy instant. So we're just, we have some songs from Eric that he's going to play at some point, which are themselves, music is a gateway into the present moment and a way to just relax and let go of thoughts, let go of the past, and be here now. And there's some beautiful passages from the course that have come in from this section, chapter 15 of the Holy Instant, which is an epic chapter. It's got so much in it that Jesus is taking us into. And we'll just go into that. And then Lisa and I have been mighty companions on this journey. We met probably in 2005 or so. And so we've just had many experiences together of practicing the holy instant, practicing it together and learning what it means. Like, what is the value of practicing the holy instant? And where is it taking us? Because all we're interested in is an experience. We want an experience of who we truly are. We want the experience of freedom, of being with Jesus, with the holy instant now, free of the past, free of judgment, free of our own personal self and concept and ideas that were the block. So it just feels like a gift to come together tonight to really dive into this whole theme and topic even more. After this session this morning with David and Francis that still feels like it's bubbling in my heart. Yeah, the calling out of the world into this moment, beyond time.
It's pretty exciting because, just it's a living experience. It's not something that you can we teach through demonstration. And I feel like I know we've known each other for so long, and just really, where is it taking us? It's taking us right here to this present moment, so deeply, to really let go and open up and feel the presence of the Spirit, and just to experience, I feel like for me, opening up to the holy instant is really opening up to God and feeling that God has this and to God's plan. And, I've been, all day long talking to several people, and I can see that all along in my journey, the only problem that I ever had was resisting what was being given. I remember years ago, I had a little show called Living in the Given. And it's, it's like living in this spontaneity, and it is the mind training, and it is the, opening up to trust the Spirit and developing that. And so I just feel like it's an honor, to be here with you, Kirsten, in this. It feels like we were saying earlier too, it's the temple. The temple is the relationship, and our relationship, and, we don't see each other very often. I mean, physically, we haven't seen each other in years. Mm-hmm. And just that we come together and joining in the mind together in this present moment to be used by the Spirit, just to remember the holy instant, what an honor. I think, what else would I want to, you can't even really talk about it, because it's this natural opening, to allow everything to be exactly as it is. Yeah, and I know I see La Casa is up there. So, I said that happened right before we left. It was so beautiful because, we kind of stopped the car a moment right before we left because the internet's out. And there they all are, all the students from the Tabla Rasa Mystery School. They made it. You handed it over. We were just kind of laughing, just how the Spirit, it's like we have no control over the world. Now the internet's completely down. So, and just, how we're not a victim of this world is really, really powerful. Everything is happening for us, and how I can see that even David had shared about, with the mystery school that just started on Tuesday night, people arrived. And all these, every mystery school is completely different. And this one is just, just naturally giving all these opportunities for people to look at everything that's happening in the mind, and where, there's a resistance to that, and very gentle and loving, and, nothing's being thrust, but this kind of let go, practicing letting go and feeling the trust in the Spirit. So, yeah. So it just feels like an honor, and I'm happy they made it.
Yeah, beautiful. It's such a walk of trust. Really a walk of trust. Yeah. Well, maybe I start off with this, like a little reading from the text here around, the very first section of the chapter, the holy instant. Jesus starts off with the use of time, the two uses of time. And that's something that for us has been a constant deepening into. And it's something that everyone at the mystery school is there to learn. It's what everyone here at the monastery is here to learn. It's our purpose. What is it really for? What are we using time for? Because there are two uses of time. The ego has a use for time, and that's guilt, maintaining guilt. And then the Holy Spirit's use of time is as a teaching aid for happiness and peace. So, of course, we want to learn of the Holy Spirit's use of time. And that's how we then practice coming into the Holy Spirit's use of time, which leads into the holy instant. And the Holy Spirit's use of time there's a lesson that's really pulling our mind out of the past. Like the ego uses time to maintain the past. And so every time we're telling a story about the past where there's something unresolved, or we're just even using our past learning in an I know mind way, that's not inspiring, it's just getting the job done. Then really our mind is in the ego's use of time. And David was talking about the doer this morning. And we can get into even thinking that what we do is our function, but the doing comes from what we think. So we want to be so tuned into the Holy Spirit's use of time and the Holy Spirit's purpose for our mind, so that then what we do comes from this purpose that inspires awakening and heals our mind. And when we're really practicing the holy instant, which we can do in every moment, it's about releasing the past. Then, yeah, there's no fear. There is no fear in the present. I'll read this section here. There is no fear in the present when each instant stands clear and separated from the past, without its shadow reaching out into the future. Each instant is a clear, untarnished birth in which the Son of God emerges from the past into the present, and the present extends forever. It is so beautiful and so clean and free of guilt that nothing but happiness is there. No darkness is remembered, and only immortality and joy are now. This lesson takes no time, for what is time without a past and future? It has taken time to misguide you so completely, but it takes no time at all to be what you are. Begin to practice the Holy Spirit's use of time as a teaching aid to happiness and peace. And this is the line that I love, that Lisa reminds me of. Take this very instant now and think of it as all there is of time. Take this very instant now and think of it as all there is of time. Nothing can reach you here out of the past, and it is here that you are completely absolved, completely free, and wholly without condemnation. From this holy instant, wherein holiness was born again, you will go forth in time without fear, and with no sense of change with time. So why that reminds me a little of Lisa is you sometimes often say, Lisa, like, wow, what if this was my last day on earth? What if this was the last day? And then Jesus is bringing it from a day, even like, what if this was our last moment? What if this was the only instant that there was? And as we brought into this instant, it's like we're free of the past because our focus comes here. And then from here, we can pray and listen and move forward in a state of mind that's with the Spirit.
It's beautiful, Kirsten. Really beautiful. Yeah, I was thinking when David said this morning, like that section of the course where he says, can you imagine, living a life with no cares and no worries and being happy all the time? I remember reading that, and it's like the dream that it could be possible, that we could live in a space that was totally free of thinking about tomorrow. And I just, today just was really beautiful for me. I was in prayer most of the day, but I was thinking about when, I first met David, and, I had been living in my house for like 20 years and seemed to be successful in the world. But I remember thinking how terrified I was. I was like, I seemed to have everything, I had my own company, and I, the house, and, seemingly everything, but so terrified that I was going to lose everything. And I remember, even in those early years, even me and you and David went out a couple times, and just, it was like stepping out of my comfort zone and stepping into the unknown. And I know that's what, our journey has been, just kind of stepping into the unknown, and really, not just taking Jesus' word for it, but really trying it on and facing a lot of these obstacles. I mean, it's really about, Jesus is promising us to live in this moment, but, it's like a mind training. It's all about the mind training and letting go. There's a practical application that he is calling us in, really to practice forgiveness. And I guess I feel like, I know me and you had the same thing when we were at the Peace House. We were talking about it earlier, how we, being around David, he's like, you're going into a vortex of movement and, this big combustion of the spirit just using him, and being around him is like all this movement. And I remember thinking, can't we just stop? Can't we just, nothing's changed. I just want everything to stay the same. I just want it all, hold up, where are you going? What's happening? Because I lived in my house for 20 years. So I stepped out of my comfort zone. We stepped out of our comfort zone and really kind of took the dive into God's arms. That's how I feel. It was really trusting God and being able to face that discomfort and that fear and that control and pride and all kinds of things. And just thinking how blessed I feel, to put Jesus to the test and to really see that, that our safety does not lie in this world. You can have it all set up in the whole world and you can be terrified. And that this, even the last couple lessons, yesterday's lesson was my safety lies in my defenselessness. And really he's saying, put this cloak of defenselessness on, and that we can experience, this freedom. And it's really not about knowing anything. It's really coming in with, like, David was talking about Lila this morning, carefree, clueless, and cared for. It was something that she always was, it was like her mantra, and that we can live in this experience of opening up to what's being given to us and trusting God. And I don't know, I just feel at this moment in my life, I just feel so grateful just to see that God's plan is so perfect and that we don't have to resist it. But there's resistance that comes up. I mean, I even heard Helen Schuckman today. I heard an audio of her talking, and she was saying, how she was resisting even just writing the course, but she could see that when she resisted it, she had so much pain. There's this discomfort that comes that is like, there comes a point where, it's like, okay, maybe I'm wrong about everything. And so I just feel like, just our life together, I know it's a living experience, just kind of stepping into the unknown day by day. Really, we have no plans, and you're at the monastery. I'm here in Mexico, and, we're seemingly over centers, but we're really over the mind, really this opportunity to, really let go and open up to what's being given, and really stepping back from the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such an honor, really, to be able, to devote our lives to practicing forgiveness and practicing, coming to the holy instant over and over and over and over and over and over again, and feeling that presence of God together.